Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Ana Arellano, and I am one of the advisors at the International Education Office. Today's session is really focused on understanding how and if non-resident tuition is added or can impact the total estimated cost of a study abroad program, specifically for our out-of-state students who do have this additional supplemental tuition. For our agenda today, we will briefly be reviewing what the non-resident supplemental tuition is and why you do have this cost yearly included in your bills. We'll review to which terms and which IEO programs or which study abroad programs this tuition is applicable to. As you'll see, it is applicable to study abroad, so we'll briefly address why and how these fees are assessed. And then we'll conclude on briefly speaking about funding study abroad and Q&A. This will be a short session, but we do have a lot of important information to cover. If you do have any questions at all at any point, if you like clarification, please use the Q&A tool and we will address those. So we'll briefly begin with speaking about the non-resident supplemental tuition. Why is it that you are assessed this additional fee? Well, California residents, they contribute to the state educational funding, which helps maintain UCLA as an institution and provide these academic offerings. So since you are attending the UC system, which is a California public institution, you would be responsible as well to help contribute to the state educational funding, which helps maintain UCLA as an institution. This is why you are assessed a non-resident supplemental tuition on a yearly basis. For the 2022 to 2023 academic school year, we have a full academic year cost of $31,026. So applicable terms and IEO programs. So I have included on screen a brief chart, and this is specifically to UCLA. We're not talking about study abroad just yet. So we see that for the summer, on the right-hand side, it's $0. There is no supplemental tuition. If any of you have enrolled in summer session A or summer session C, for example, you'll notice that you did not incur this cost. And that's because summer is a non-essential term, meaning you are not required to take classes during the summer. So because there is no non-resident tuition during the summer, the $31,026, they are assessed or divided between the three essential terms that UCLA offers. For the fall, winter, and spring, if we divide it evenly, we can expect $10,342 to be assessed per quarter. This is how it looks like currently on your Bruin bill. So when it comes to study abroad programs, on the left-hand side, we see summer. These are the programs that IEO that we offer during the summer. That includes UCLA Travel Study, UCLA Global Internship, and the UC Education Abroad Program, which is otherwise known as UCEAP. As mentioned, for the summer, it is not an essential term, meaning there is no non-resident tuition for any of our summer programs. That's travel study, that's global internship, that's UCEAP. If you're interested in going abroad for the summer, our non-California residents will pay the exact total cost as our California residents. So that's a plus. For anyone interested in studying abroad during the academic year, that includes fall, winter, spring, or even for the full year. Because these are essential terms, as we saw in the previous slide, there is a non-resident supplemental tuition that is included into the total cost of your program. You'll see on the screen that travel study and global internships are not listed on our academic year side. It's because these are summer-only programs. UCEAP is the only program that's available during the summer and academic year. So let's say, for example, you're interested in UCEAP for the summer, no resident tuition. But if you're considering fall quarter or fall semester, for example, there will be a non-resident supplemental tuition added to the total cost of your program. So in this presentation, we'll be focusing only on how it applies to our UCEAP programs. So why? Why are we still assessed these non-resident tuition fees if we are not at UCLA? Specifically, we are studying abroad. Well, to participate on UCEAP, you must be an enrolled UC student. Because you remained a UCLA student, even while you are abroad, you are still responsible to contribute to the state educational funding. This is why you are still assessed that non-resident tuition fee during an essential term away, even if you are not at UCLA, because you are still an enrolled UCLA student. A very important topic, however, is that your fees, the non-resident supplemental tuition, is assessed on your study abroad program term. They are not assessed based on the UCLA term. What does that mean? So let's go ahead and give this a breakdown. This is where it can be a little bit confusing, so I hope I do my best in being able to explain this to you. Before we begin, I do want to give a important distinction between the quarter and the semester fees. So on the left-hand side, we see the quarter, something we briefly spoke about earlier. So $31,026. UCLA is divided into 3 terms, fall, winter, and spring, because there are 3 terms at UCLA on the quarter system. We have UC campuses, for example, like UC Berkeley, who are on the semester system, and they still have the total $31,026 to pay, similar as you may do here at UCLA. However, their fees, because they're on the semester system, they're divided into 2. So in total, they will be paying approximately $15,000 during the fall and $50,000 during the spring, even though it's the same total. The reason that is important is because, like I mentioned, the fees you are assessed, or how much you pay in non-resident tuition fees, depends on your study abroad program term, not on UCLA terms that you are abroad. So for example, if you would like to study abroad on a fall semester program, you will be responsible for paying the fall semester non-resident tuition fee, not the fall quarter. Even though UCLA is in the fall quarter, and even though you are a fall quarter student, you are participating on a fall semester program. Because you would be paying the fall semester program, this often could be a more expensive route for our out-of-state students, because there is that increase of approximately $5,000 between the quarter non-resident tuition and the semester non-resident tuition. If you are interested in studying abroad during the fall quarter system, there'll be no difference. You'll be paying the exact same amount that you would be if you were attending the UCLA quarter fall term. So let's go ahead and give this a little bit more of a visual. So let's say, for example, you're interested in going to the UK, specifically on the London's Calling program. During the fall quarter, the total estimated fees are $17,790. This is the estimate. And if you add the quarter non-resident tuition fee, we see that additional $10,000. That brings our total cost to approximately $28,000. On the other hand, if you want to go the exact same program, London's Calling, on a fall semester program, we see an increase of a total estimated cost of $23,000. Keep in mind that this estimate, it increased because you will be abroad for longer, you will be earning more units. That means there's an additional cost in housing and additional cost in meals. So that's why there's a difference between the fall quarter and a fall semester. So that brings our total to 23. And because you are in a fall semester program, you will be responsible for the 15,000, not the 10,000. So that brings our total to approximately 39,000. If we compare this to the UCLA quarter, where we would be paying approximately 12,000 and adding the non-resident quarter tuition, which would be 10,000, that brings our total to 22. So you see that the fall quarter almost matches the UCLA quarter versus the fall semester abroad. We do see that increase. For a spring semester program, it is possible for students to study abroad on the semester program, even if you are on the quarter system. In fact, many of our programs are semester based. So let's say, for example, you're interested in studying abroad on a spring semester program, you would only be responsible for paying the $15,000, that one semester non-resident supplemental tuition. You will not be paying 2 quarters of non-resident supplemental tuition. So what this means is that this, in fact, can actually save you a couple $1,000 because you would be paying the 15 as opposed to the 20 if we add 2 quarters together. For the winter and spring quarter, it would be very similar to what it is now. If you participate on a winter quarter abroad or spring quarter abroad, you would be responsible for that 10,000 that you would be similar at UCLA. So let's go ahead and give this a visual. So let's say you're interested in studying abroad the winter quarter. And I chose just at random the Italy program, Art, Food, and Society. So the total program cost is estimated at $14,190. And because it's a quarter program, we add the quarter non-resident tuition to $10,000. And that brings our total to approximately $24,000. On a spring quarter program in the Netherlands, the Psychology and Neuroscience program, we have our total estimated cost of approximately $13,000. Our quarter non-resident tuition is $10,000. That brings us to $23,000. If we compare that to UCLA, we see that we're about the same range, between 22 to 24. So it's very similar to what it is here at UCLA. What I want to note here is that these are all including the quarter non-resident supplemental tuition. Now, for spring semester program, let's say, for example, we're going to Costa Rica on the Tropical Biology and Conservation program. So the total estimated cost is $18,585. On a semester, we add the semester non-resident tuition to $15,000, and then brings our total to $34,000. If we compare that to 2 quarters at UCLA, so both the winter and the spring, our total estimated cost is at $24,000 approximately, and we add 2 quarters, so $10,000 for the winter, $10,000 for the spring. That brings our total non-resident tuition to $20,684. That brings our total estimated cost at $45,000, and we do see that there is a couple $1,000 that we are saving, approximately $9,000 here. So that is why often we say that spring semester can save our out-of-state students a couple $1,000s. For those that attended the session today, I will be sending you a resource sheet, which is the one that's shown on screen. It's just to give you a general overview of what it is that we're discussing in the session. And this is for you to, if you want to discuss study abroad with your parents or relatives, your friends, and see how that non-resident tuition is added. This is a quick just take home and at a glance. So you will be receiving this PDF. For anyone who's viewing this recording and you would like this resource sheet, please email our office and we can send that your way as well. So just very briefly, we'll be touching about funding study abroad. If you are eligible to receive UC or federal financial aid, you may continue to use those towards your funding to study abroad. The financial aid package can cover up to the total cost of your program. So if that's something that you are eligible for, you will continue to be out. As long as you continue to be eligible, you will receive that financial aid package to help chip away at the costs. To help chip away at the cost as well, we would strongly encourage students to view and or apply for scholarships. There's 2 different resources that we would encourage you to look into. The first and foremost is the UCLA Scholarship Resource Center. If you're not familiar with it, it's a department that's available on campus for you. The last page is our UCLA IEO scholarships. That's specifically what it is that we offer. On this page, we have IEO specific scholarships, so our office. We also have UCEAP scholarships that are available, travel studies scholarships that are available, global internship scholarships that are available. And we also offer external links and databases for others that may exist, but that are not managed through our office. But we do want to provide you with certain scholarships that may be available to you. And they range from a wide variety. So for example, some are merit-based, some are identity-based, some are study abroad location-based. So there's a lot of opportunity that we would strongly encourage you to look into if that's something that you are, if you're concerned about the funding of a study abroad. So that's it. That concludes our presentation. I hope it was helpful to you all. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please use the Q&A chat and I'll go ahead and address those now. I will stop the recording, but if you have any questions, I'll stick around for another 2 minutes just to make sure I address those. But let me go ahead and stop the recording.